It's Sick Boy from the Gaminganarchist Collective and welcome to the Anarchic Eye for the 23rd of April 2015. Well, colour me a little bit hopeful, if not a tad sceptical. Creative Assembly have finally fully announced their Total War Warhammer game. Coming out, being called Total War Warhammer. Kind of upset they haven't called it Total Warhammer. That would be kind of cool. Now, I'm a little bit hesitant to be excited about this. I'm certainly never going to push into any kind of hype or pre-order in this culture, particularly with Creative Assembly. Now, their last game, being Alien Isolation, was well received, was a good quality game, was doing really well. I'm glad to see they produced a high quality franchise title. Before that, oh my God, Total War Rome 2 was a sack of shit. They had to pump patch after patch after patch to fix that thing. It was on 8 patches when I stopped counting. Just a fucking joke. So, a little bit concerned that, of course, this next game will be a Total War game. I trust they're going to learn the lessons from last time and actually, hell, just use the fixed Rome 2 engine. You know, for fuck's sake, please don't make that bad, because the idea of a real-time strategy Warhammer Total War game feels just beautiful to me. I really hope it works out, and I sincerely hope, I'm going to wait and see, but I'm excited to see it's actually been announced, but I'm definitely going to hold my excitement to actually see if this fucker actually works day one. Because, my God, the amount of hype building up to Rome 2 and the disappointing shitstorm that came when it was just fucking broken was just awful. But keep your eyes open, could be interesting. Well, it looks like the WWE 2K games are finally going to move from being console exclusive. It seems that they will be moving to PC, being released via Steam this spring. So that's WWE 2K15 coming out. The good thing about this is that this release will come, all the DLC will be bundled free, all of the pre-order bonuses, so I believe that's Hogan and Sting, are going to be coming in with this pack. So I haven't bothered picking up a WWE game for quite some time. To be honest, I played so many of them, I got kind of bored and just kind of stopped being interested in them, but I could potentially be interested if the port works well and works as a PC game, particularly being caught in one of the Steam sales, could be well worth having. Now, it'd be nice to see it be brought out to more platforms. It will make things like the custom wrestlers a lot more interesting, having kind of PC involved in the scene. I think it'll make a lot more fun. It'll be a lot easier to distribute decent creations. So, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's a good, positive move. It's about bloody time, and provided the price point's decent, I certainly might pick that up in a sale. So, good times. Right, time for some important patch note information. Players who bought the upgraded version of Dark Souls 2, and also those who obviously since the update, would have noticed that with the 60 frames per second version of the game, that the durability of your weapons was halved, which was something that happened with the DS fix. I'm pretty sure that happened in the DS fix for Dark Souls 1. It's just a factor of the game. Twice the frames, half the durability. It happens. It was a pain in the arse. When I played the upgraded version on the PC of Dark Souls 2, I was finding that I couldn't actually make it from one bonfire to the next without having to switch out my main weapon. That was fucking irritating, so I'm pretty glad to see that they fixed that, but it has been a ball ache, and it has been a few months since I've actually had that, since they've really had that up and running, but I'm glad to see that finally being fixed. There's a few other fixes as well, including in the description field, of course, all the links to the information, so you'll see a few more patches, but it's not out yet. It's due out in the next few weeks, so it might actually, well, I just hope so, because frankly, it doesn't make the game worth playing when it's having such issues by being upgraded to 60 frames per second and then having your weapons just break in minutes. It's really friggin' irritating. So, good news that that's actually been fixed, or will be fixed very soon. Sticking with From Software patches, a really exciting bit of news for people who actually really like the FromSoft games. Bloodborne. I have been playing a lot of Bloodborne. I'm really enjoying it. I like the fact that it is essentially, it's very much like Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1. The combat's very different. I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the much more kind of rolling around, roll into attacks rather than turtling. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun game. the thing that's been pissing a lot of people off, particularly those who are struggling and are having to deal a lot with deaths, is the loading screens. Holy fucking shit. Every reviewer, rightfully so, every critic, everyone who has got a sensible brain in their head has commented that the loading screens are about 45 seconds. Now, this is different to the way that bonfire warping, as is used in Dark Souls, works. Because obviously with Dark Souls 2 you can go from bonfire to bonfire. In Dark Souls 1 you can do bonfire warping later in the game. Now with regards to Bloodborne, you go from wherever you are in the world to the Hunter's Dream. From the Hunter's Dream you can access any one of the lanterns, which are the Bloodborne edition of bonfires. Now this means it can take you like 2 minutes from get to one location to another, which is a pain in the arse, particularly if you want to go farming, if you want to actually move around from one area to another, which is something that you do want to do in that game. I've found examples where I've gone, right, I want to go there, do that, I want to go there, do that, there, do that, and then you think I'm wasting 5 minutes doing something that should take me a small amount of time. It's a pain in the arse, particularly if you want to farm and keep reloading an area and farm for items or farm for blood echoes. It's really irritating. So the patch has come out. I have just been testing the patch. It is a 2.7 gig patch, which is a pisser. It's ridiculous. I think day one they had a similar size patch, which is in of itself a problem. But the main thing that this patch has actually done is it has slashed the loading times. It's making it actually, from me saying, it's good, actually saying, no, this is a worthwhile purchase. This fix alone makes the game a tentative recommendation to me saying, if you have a PS4, you should have this game. Right? If you have any interest in that kind of third-person action game, you should absolutely own this. Now, the loading screens are, I tested it out between different areas. It is, as the patch note says, it's between 5 and 15 seconds between loads. Going back to the Hunter's Dream, takes less than 10 seconds comfortably. And not only that, but they've also fixed the loading screen so it doesn't just say Bloodborne on a black background for 45 seconds making you want to kill yourself. It actually comes up with item descriptions as per the previous Souls games. Interesting things people want to know. It cycles somewhere in the region, I think, of about every 9 to 10 seconds. It cycles, so sometimes if it's a long loading screen, you'll get 2 item descriptions to look at. So that certainly beats a lot of things, and frankly, really fixes a massive problem with the game. I'm very happy to see that happening. It really is worthwhile. It's a pisser that the patch is that big. It's a pisser that it wasn't fixed on launch. But the fact that it's now been repaired makes the game a worthwhile purchase, when before it was a, if you can handle that and if you're a big fan of the series, buy it. Now it's a case of, that's the gripe that people have with the game. It's the gripe I have with the game, really. It's the major gripe. And it's fixed. So that's some damn good news. Okay, time to open Pandora's box of absolute fucking nightmares and delve into this briefly. Steam have just announced that they are allowing for paid mod support, which will be starting off with Skyrim. Now this has got a lot of people pissed, and I can understand why. No one wants to pay for stuff on the internet. That is a real thing. Now, I do understand that, frankly, modders do deserve to be paid for their work. There are some problems with this system. Now, let's put this in perspective before people start shouting and screaming one way or the other. Let's bear this in mind. Now, currently on Steam, there are over 25,000 mods for Skyrim. With the launch of this new service, 13 are payable. That's where we stand. Now, so some of the premium mods have switched from free to paying for. Some things you're paying like $1 or so for one weapon or a small armor set, up to paying for up to like $5 for a couple of the more interesting mods. Like the wet and cold mod is now up to $5 rather than it being free. I can absolutely see why people are pissed at this. I can also see why people are defending the modders' rights to actually earn some money for their work. Now, there are 2 gripes I have with this system. First of all, Steam is taking 75 bastard %. That's just fucking greedy. Steam, that's what they do. It's what they do with the workshop, the charge workshop stuff. They do with TF2. If they take a user creation, they stick it in the game, they take 75%. Now that is a douchey thing to do. Steam are taking the piss with that. So when you're looking at some things, you're seeing something for like, 30 cents. And you look at 75% of that is being kept by Steam. So really, the modder is earning a pittance. Tiny amount for their work. So that is a bullshit thing. Now, the other issue is copyright. Because a lot of these mods are utilising content. Now, there's a mod with TIE Fighters. There's a mod with My Little Pony. There's mods with Harry Potter stuff. Now, like Warner Brothers and Disney, not exactly the most softcore with regards to IP infringement. They are not going to be particularly happy if Valve is profiting off IP infringement of their work. So that will open an interesting door to see where that leads, because that could lead to some serious legal ramifications, because a lot of these mods are IP infringement. A lot of people turn their back on it and don't really care because they're free. When they've ceased to become free, there may be a problem. Now, hopefully, they have the situations in place. In fact, I know they don't, because I know that one mod already listed on there, there's a realistic fishing mod. That mod contains copyrighted material. That copyrighted material hasn't been cleared for commercial use. So there we have our first issue in the first batch. That's a fucking problem. That's something Steam should really be dealing with. They're a sensible adult bloody company with lots and lots of money. They should absolutely, seriously, Valve should be on top of this. But yeah, I do understand that there are certainly concerns. I don't like it. I'd rather not pay for mods, but at the same time, a lot of developers start out their career dealing with mods, particularly source mods. Source mods have been a major thing. The whole Counter-Strike is one of the biggest games right now on PC. It's a source mod. You know, lots of these games are, you know, they're source mods. Lots of other mods, you know, how many games will come out as mods? I don't necessarily mind if a minority of modders want to charge. I don't mind. I am very aware that it could go tits up and everyone could be charging stupid bloody prices for everything. But the market will sort that out. People will not, I hope people will not, start buying ridiculous shit for ridiculous money mods through Steam. I sincerely hope that this is kept low-key, that high quality, high fidelity, decent mods can make a little bit of money for the creators. I'm not bothered by that. I'm not so bothered by that. I'm really not. But I am concerned that this opens the door for piss-taking in the future. Certainly right now, 13 mods is not piss-taking. However, if all 25,000 became paid for, then we have some serious issues. But if this is going to be a fringe case, that a few of the more premium mods, or some of the more opportunistic pieces of shit that I hope people have the sense to not buy, but you know, this is where you need to read reviews and listen to people and see what is worthwhile. But I'm hoping to see that this is in general not a bad thing, not even really a good thing, just the way things are going, and it does allow user-created content to earn some money. And in the days of, you know, kind of internet commerce, I don't really see that as a bad thing, but there are certainly some pitfalls in it. Anyway, guys, you've been looking through the 2020 vision of the Anarchic Eye. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.